So recently, a ton of new items, concepts, and changes have been added to the alpha in Hypixel Skyblock. Of course, the alpha server being basically just a secondary server where they test all the new things. They seem to have been adding more and more changes over the past week, and some of them are pretty interesting. Now, first of all, they've changed the chocolate factory a bit. They've added extra prestiges, and also very notably added potentially one of the worst dyes I've ever seen in the game. If anybody chooses to have the Aurora armor in this configuration, send help. Well, staying on the topic of dyes, and I guess this is a pretty interesting one that's had a pretty large effect of the price of dyes on the main server. I'm sure you've probably heard about it already. But for instance, if we go ahead and take the Sorrow chestplate, and you know what, go on, let's take these Silver Hunter leggings as well. Typically, you wouldn't really be able to dye either of these two pieces because they aren't leather armor pieces. But no, we're gonna make them chocolate dyed. Don't do this on the main server if this actually comes out, because chocolate dye's not good. Anyway, we can purchase two more because it's been a while since I purchased the pieces for my armor. And in a very silly turn of events, yeah. If you have a non-leather piece of armor, you can now put a dye on it, but it'll just turn it into a leather piece of armor. So these are now Silver Hunter leggings. I don't really know how I feel about that because it just seems a bit ridiculous. The same with, you know, like a Sorrow chestplate. The same happens with Advanced chestplate and pretty much any other piece of armor that isn't leather. If you put a dye on it, it'll just turn it into a leather piece of armor. I don't really know how to feel about this change. I want you to let me know what you think in the comments. I guess I have a few observations. First of all, I know a lot of people are excited about this, hence the, well, skyrocketing prices of some dyes on the main server. I guess it makes having a dye, you know, more worth your money. You can apply it to more items. But I think it kind of made sense that you couldn't apply dyes to, I don't know, Silver Hunter armor, because this essentially is just an iron armor set. And of course you can't dye the armor set because you can only dye leather pieces. It would be good if it literally just straight up dyed the pieces of iron armor, so it still kept the metallic properties, but just was a different colour. But the fact that it changes to leather, I'm not sure about that at all. I mean, sure, yeah, it's more customizable, more, you know, you can personalize all of your pieces. It's not a bad thing, and it's not a major thing. I just think it's really, really strange to say, oh, let me just pull out my Sorrow set that's basically leather when it should be chainmail. It's just, I don't know. It's just a bit weird. Something else as well, if you were to try to, I don't know, let's say, dye this Warden's helmet, it's actually impossible. You can't dye skulls. So there's that as well. There's, of course, a lot more that's on the alpha right now. Many more changes that we'll take a look into, but I just thought I'd get this out of the way first, because it's something that I'm really not sure on, and I know a lot of people are excited for. And I'm not against it, I just think it would be really cool if we could see something where the actual armor kept its properties, being metallic, chainmail, whatever it is, but it was just, you know, a different colour. And of course that's probably a lot more work, because it's very easy just to, I guess, implement a system where, you know, if you want to dye an item, then it simply just turns it into a leather piece and dyes it, but just keeps all of the stats and obviously the name and stuff and things like that. But if I had a Divan set, I don't know how I'd feel about, I don't know, putting a Warden dye on it. And sure, it'd be cool if it still looked like gold armor but was just a different colour, but the fact that it's leather is just, I don't know. Before we go any further, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. You should subscribe to the channel if you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed. Please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We offer slaves and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. It'll be interesting to take a look over the rest of the changes in the changelog. I'll leave a link to this post in the description. Okay, so first of all, the Hobbit event was received well, so we've added more features. They're going to mention that they've added 2 new family members. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's nice for a bit of development there. To add a strategical layer, we've introduced shop milestones. The system rewards 24 new rabbits based on your total chocolate spent in the shop. Players now have an extra reason to invest in chocolate in the shop, as it contributes to factory progression. The system grants mythic rabbits earlier in the reward tree. Each rabbit represents a letter from the Greek alphabet, so you are going to gain immense general knowledge. Unless you already speak Greek. Okay, moving on. There's an extra prestige, and of course, extra new shop items. We have here the horrible new chocolate dye, and also the chocolate barn skin. We've also got chocolate fortune here, and we've got a way to actually obtain Hobbit's Abiphone contact. It seems that they've added a few new rabbits as well. There's some more general changes. Small changes to the glaciite tunnels. Blocks broken with custom abilities such as Efficient Miner or Pico Nimbus now affect mineshaft rates again. However, these blocks broken will be a 50% effectiveness towards mineshaft pity. Obviously, that's better than none of those blocks going towards the mineshaft pity. It's a pity that that wasn't in place when I was actually doing commissions, if you see what I did there. Anyway, scrap drop chances have been significantly buffed. Good. Because it was basically like they didn't even exist. Scrap just wasn't a thing. That's good. We don't know how much of a buff it is, just as significantly, so that's a W. Scrap was too difficult to get, especially when he was eating up a commission that you basically just couldn't do, because you'd have to go through 3, 4, maybe even 5. Some people didn't even get scrap. I mean, it's pot luck. It was too rare. Removed all powder drops from corpses, now that we give out a flat amount per corpse. Okay, yeah, I guess that's fine. Whereas before it was a bit of a lottery as to how much powder you get. Now it's just one flat figure. Yeah, okay, I mean, it's gonna equal itself out in the long run anyway. Adjusted some tungsten and umber block strengths. I guess that probably means that it takes a little bit less time to mine those blocks, which I guess is good. It speeds the whole process up a little bit again. New scrap chances changes. Okay, here we are. So they made it 5 times more likely to get scrap, which is very good. It used to be 1 in 1k, and now it's 1 in 200. So yeah, that's a W. Seems that it actually gets increasingly more improbable to actually drop scrap after you've dropped the first one in the mineshaft, which makes sense. And those rates have been buffed too. It looks like they did actually go to make another change, but people probably weren't happy with it. Fixed an issue where ender pearls could be used in dungeon trap room, and it looks like that's been crossed out, and a note has been added saying, "We appreciate your feedback regarding this change. This change will be reverted by the time the update releases." Interesting. Where is Better Mayors? Well, where is it? We are working hard on making the update look as good as possible before sending it for alpha testing, where you'll learn all the details on the alpha thread. There's a lot to unpack, so stay tuned. Enjoy this minigame teaser while you wait. Oh, this is not Skyblock, is it? Is it? It is Skyblock. Carnival. Okay, so I guess that kind of ties in with the Better Mayors. Interesting. It just kind of looks like Dojo, the one where you have to basically aim at the skeletons that I can never do. Yeah, so I guess there's quite a lot to take in there. Now, something else that we actually have is a new stacking enchant called Toxopholite. Gain 3% extra combat XP, grants plus 3.7 crit chance. Okay, so it's just champion, but for bows. Kind of makes you wonder why they didn't just allow you to apply champion onto bows as well. I think that would just make a lot more sense. I guess there is something a little bit different to it, considering it gives you extra crit chance, which of course is going to help you with getting maximum crit chance with the Terminator because it slashes it. So I guess you kind of see why they've done it. However, most people who have a Terminator, who are at the point where they have a Terminator, are not really going to be struggling getting max crit chance. Regardless of that, cool. We've now got something that is basically champion for a bow. Despite it surely just being way easier just to be able to apply champion onto a bow, and surely that could have just been done when champion actually released. But anyway, so let's talk about these changes. Chocolate Factory, yeah, fine. You know, it's just basically being developed. There's more prestiges being added. There's more purpose being added. It just seems like a big dub. I like the Chocolate Factory, to be honest. Sometimes the only reason why I log onto Skyblock is just to upgrade my Chocolate Factory and then log off. As for the changes in the caves and the mine shafts, it's just a dub. It really is. The main thing being scrap easier to get. There's nothing to complain about, really. I mean, yeah, sure, the price of it is going to drop a little bit. I guess I've already really shared my thoughts about the dyes. I don't really think it's a bad thing. And, you know what, customization is good. But I think it'd just be a lot more polished if the actual armor kept its properties and just the colour of it changed. Whether that's, you know, much more difficult to do, I can imagine it maybe is. But I can't imagine it'd be too difficult. I don't know, if I have a Sorrow set, if I have an Advanced set, if I have a set that's got a distinctive look, sure, I think it'd be nice to change the colour of it, but you kind of completely and utterly, you know, getting rid of its identity. Just seems like a little bit of a strange one, to be honest. Anyway, that is going to be just about the end of today's video. Let me know what you think of these changes in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.